In the early 12th century BC, all the great civilizations of the Eastern Mediterranean, save Egypt, would all topple in a crash of apocalyptic proportions known as the Bronze Age collapse. What brought about this destruction of civilization remains a mystery, but is most likely linked to the brutal invasions of the vaguely defined Sea Peoples, among them possibly some Mycenaean pirates. Whatever their origin, the great Bronze Age palaces of Mycenae were entirely abandoned in their wake, and in the fallout, ancient Greece entered a 4-century-long period known as its Dark Ages. Trade links were severed, towns shrunk, society became more rural, and artwork became more simplistic. Most importantly, Linear B was abandoned, giving way to an illiterate society. However, even as the Greeks of the Dark Ages became centuries removed from the palaces of Mycenae, they never forgot the stories of the great kings, heroes, and wars of their mighty seafaring ancestors. Over time, the Mycenaean era came to be seen as a more magical age, where gods and spirits walked freely amongst mortals. To the Peloponnesian shepherd, the gods were real as earth and water, and their presence in an ancient tale did not compromise its realism. Without a writing system, these stories were preserved orally from generation to generation. One poet who probably existed at the end of the period was Homer. Modern historians are split on whether Homer was one man or a series of chroniclers building upon each other's works, so for the sake of linearity, we will choose to depict him as the former. The seminal poet told the story of a vast armada of ships that had once set out across the Aegean Sea to lay siege to the great city of Troy. This story was the memory of an ancient war, so grand in scope that all the gods of Olympus were bound to interfere. By the time Greek civilization re-emerged from the Dark Ages, Homer's fantastical epic had been forever branded into its social memory, magnified by playwrights like Euripides and Sophocles. Thus far, we have explained how the Homeric tradition of classical Greece is essentially the mythicized memory of the Mycenaean Bronze Age that preceded it.